start in AWS CloudWatch, and then in part 2, we're going to talk about AWS CloudTrail. We're going to look at few things. So let me also open up my console before I forgot. And let's start with CloudWatch. Okay. So let's do our recap like we always do. So before we start in AWS CloudWatch, we need to understand a few things. So we need to understand what does monitoring means, alerting, maybe API calls and logs. Or let's leave this to CloudTrail. So let's just look at monitoring, alerting, and metrics. These three concepts. Okay. So throughout our session, بطول فترة AWS series, we were talking like every time we want to talk about monitoring, we have the idea of maybe CloudWatch. So if we talk about AWS monitoring, it's gonna be AWS CloudWatch. So what do we mean by monitoring? So we always talk about monitoring. So what do we mean by monitoring? Well, basically, let's say, okay, we have a traffic light. So traffic light. I think there is a traffic light right here. So traffic light. Light is just light. Okay. I need the one that is free. So let's have this one. Okay. Car. No, Ferrari. Let's have a Ferrari, Lamborghini. I don't know. I think it's a Ferrari because it's red. And let's have a police officer. So we need this guy right here. Okay, so let's imagine that we have this scenario that we have a traffic light and this car is going, and then it turns red. So of course, لما الإشارة تصير حمراء, and when light turns red, he should stop. So let's imagine this guy just kept on going, even that the light is red. Of course, the police officer right here is gonna come and say, dude, you just ran the red light, so you need to stop. So this is what's monitoring concept all about. So let's imagine we don't have a police officer معنا شرطة. You can imagine what could happen. So this police officer is going to help us control the traffic. It's going to help us by the cars. We're not obeying laws, and that's why we need monitoring. So let's see that we have instances or EC2 instances. Let me see, where is my instance? Oh, those are not. Okay, here's an instance. Okay. So let's imagine now a hacker is trying to get in this instance, and he's like sending a lot of requests, which is called distributed denial of service or denial of service, depend on the kind of attack. So a lot of requests are coming to that instance. And this triggers an alert because 75% of the CPU utilization is up. And this is going to cause an alert. Okay, nice. Alert. So it's going to cause an alert because 75% of CPU utilization have gone up suddenly. This is going to mean two things. Either you have a lot of visitors, في عندك كتير ناس عم بيزوروا الويب تاعك, or a hacker is trying to hack your website in a DOS attack or DDoS attack, okay? So in this scenario, we can imagine that we have a metric, which is here we have CPU utilization. So we have metric, and we have, metric. And this metric helps us in alerting. So do this and helps in alerting. And all of this is under the, that's huge. So metrics and alerting is under monitoring. Okay, as you can see here. Okay, so we need to understand that monitoring is the whole process of all of this. So monitoring is just like observing, waiting for something to be good or bad. So it doesn't have to be bad like all the time. Okay. And alerting is when something bad happened or good also, yani based on what kind of metric do you want. So do you want CPU utilization? Do you want network in, network out? You can use metrics to alert something, okay? So these are the things we want to understand before going into our session today. So we're going to give an introduction, key features, use cases, benefits, and best practices. Introduction. And we said it's a powerful monitoring and observability service that is designed to provide actionable insights into health and performance of your AWS resource. Okay, so it's an application or a service that is used for us to check out any kind of thing we want. So let's go to CloudWatch using our console. So CloudWatch. You can see monitor resource and applications. Okay, so as you can see here, there's what's called an alarm, log, and metrics. You can like ignore all these else. It's not in our today's session. So we don't have any kind of alarm. So if you went to all alarms, you're gonna see we don't have any kind of alarms. We can create one right now, and logs and metrics. Okay, so we're gonna look at it now. So key features. Of course, we have metric collection, so it collects metric from all kinds of services, and we're gonna see how. So if we went to metrics, all metrics, you can see there is a lot. There's 222 metric. A lot are from different services. You can see here there's a few from AWS, EBS, EC2 events logs, and usage. So let's go to EC2 instances because it's what we're used for. Like we always talk about virtual machines in EC2 instances. Why is my video off? That's weird. I didn't turn my video off. It's very weird. Okay. So metrics, we can see here that we have a lot. So we have network in, we have CPU utilization, we have credit balance. We have a lot. I think it is 38. Okay, 38 metric. And we're gonna check out CPU utilization. هلا CPU utilization العربي هو استعمال السي بي يو بشكل عام. فأنت عندك نسبة من 0 ل 100%. عادة 0 كتير صعب إنك تجيبها. Like 0% in CPU utilization is non-existent. I don't know if it's possible. I don't think it is. It's possible. But CPU utilization is how much you use your CPU resource in your computer. So if you're opening, like I'm opening right now, a meeting and AWS console and browser, all of this is gonna affect my CPU. I think if I open my task manager, it's gonna show. So let me try and open and show you my CPU utilization. Okay, this is the task manager on Windows, sorry. Okay, so here's my task manager. I've showed you in the Linux. Oh wow, okay. I've showed you in Linux session how CPU utilization work using htop and top, if you remember. So this is my CPU utilization. You can see here that opening a task manager takes 40 or 3%, 2%, depending on the percentage. The highest utilization is by Microsoft Teams, which I'm using right now. It's taking a high power usage. And you can see here my CPU utilization is around 50%. And you can see here my memory is around 80% as well. So you can see here, I don't have barely like even 0% GPUs. So you can see here my utilization for all my resources. This is Task Manager, as you can see here, using Windows. Yeah, and you can do that by opening your own Windows and checking your Task Manager. So let's go back. I have a comment. Edge top, yeah. Yeah, 100%. I mean, edge top and top. So, cloud metric collection. So, sorry guys, let me just move this. Okay, so now we have our CPU utilization, let's see what we can do with it. I don't think we can. It's just actions we can add to dashboard. We can view in EC2. So we're going to check it out. So we can see here that we have a lot of metrics that we can choose from. Log monitoring is every time like someone, let me give an example. So let's say here's my instance, and every time I send something, this is a log. So a log is, let's go to the basics of log, okay? Let's go to that like deep down. So every action in cloud is called it's called an API, an API, let's say. Okay, so anything I do on the cloud, on the console, it's gonna generate an API. Okay, so كل إشي بالcloud راح يعمل لنا what's called an application programming interface, and that's what we need. So it's like an intermediary between two applications or a user and an application. This is what is an API. So either two services that has API in between, or to a user and an application. So it depends on a business case. So every action in the cloud is called an API. So anything you do is an API. And these APIs or these actions are stored in what's called logs. So another example or real life example of logs, just if you like took a new job and then every time you want to go in that job, you have to like give your thumb, your, I don't want this called, تحط بصمتك, your thumbprint to log that you have come in and out of work. فأنت بتحط بصمتك لما بدك تفوت على الشغل وتطلع من هذا الشغل. You put your thumbprint and that kind of sensor. So this generates an API call which is then stored into logs. Okay? That is what is logged. So it can be streamed in real time. And remember, streaming in real time, we're going to use Kinesis, data stream, and it's going to enable us to detect and respond to issue promptly. And you remember we were talking about anomaly detection and fraud detection in Kinesis. So actually, you can integrate Kinesis with CloudWatch. Okay. The third thing is alarms. So alarms, as we said, are going to use metrics. So alarms are going to use metric based on what metric we need. Okay. I don't want to like show you, or I will show you actually. No, I will show you. So if you went to metric and alarms or all alarms, we can create a few alarms. Even we can create an alarm if our budget went over 100 USDs. It's gonna send us a notification using SNS, which is gonna send me an email that my budget is gonna be over 100. I already done that, so let's check it out. This is for my like personal use. So if I went to billing, and you can see here billing and cost management. And we're gonna come back on CloudWatch and do an alarm because I already have an EC2 running. So you can see here cost summary that my last month was 15 cents and today's to date is $5. So it's like 16,000% more. And you can see here cost monitor. We talked about monitoring CloudWatch. So our cost monitor is, it's okay. The alarm is giving us, it's okay. It's still not over budget. So if we clicked on one active budget, we're going to see that if it goes over 100 USDs, send me an alarm to my email using SNS. So here you can see my monthly cost budget, and my budget is, sorry, $10. And you can see here that current versus budgeted, I've already passed half, like half percented, and that's not good. But you can see the threshold is okay. And you can see here it's using an alert. Okay. So when I go over $10, it's gonna send me an email to my email. It's gonna send me an email to myself that I'm going over budget. So let's go back to CloudWatch. And if we went back to CloudWatch and went to all alarms, you can see here billing. We can create our own alarm. We can create my own alarm, select metric, And as we said, we're going to use EC2 CPU utilization. So we can look at CPU. Here it is. So we can use this. Select metric. And instance ID, is it that true? Is it this? It's an ID. Let me edit it. Options, maybe source. I need to check if brass. Okay. I need to see if it's using my EC2 instance. Or let me go back to EC2 and get my, so open in a new tab. I already have one that has been running for like forever. So if we went to instances and use my already one that, the one that I'm already using, sorry. The moment here you can see it's running. Let me have this instance ID. Is it CCE? No, it's not. So okay. I want this. Take it and put it right here. So now you can see the CPU utilization of that instance that I have been running since forever. And you can see here that it's not like crossing 8%. So that's good. Mine was crossing like my CPU utilization was over 50%. And this one that is running is not even crossing 8%, which is really good. So you can see here my metric. So we can do a metric. You can see here static. If it's greater than, let's see, 50%, gonna additional configuration. So static anomaly detection is gonna predict what's gonna happen. We don't need that. So let's go to greater than. If the CPU utilization is over half percent, which is 50%, we can choose an SNS topic, an existing one. I don't have one. We can create a new topic and we create a topic to notify other accounts. So this is when we have an alarm. We also can have, if it's okay, we can use it if it's okay, like if okay and it's going over 50%, that's fine. And we have also insufficient data. So let's say add notification. No, I don't want to add notifications. I want to create a new topic, and you can see here we can create it, and we can use any kind. So example at user1 at example.com. And that's it. We can use either Lambda actions, auto-scaling actions, EC2 actions. We can use a lot of actions that mean if our CPU utilization is over 0.5%, it's gonna do something about it, you know? Yeah. Create topic. Okay, as you can see here, it will create a topic, and then we can create next, and it's gonna create our alarm. So CPU, utilize, and that's it. So next. Here you can see my CPU utilization. If it went over 50, it's gonna be an alarm. So let me ask ChatGPT to generate an in-alarm. So generate in-alarm JSON to trigger CloudWatch CPU utilization. So let's do that. Okay. We need to choose these. Okay, you define. No, I don't want to define it. I want to trigger an alarm. I don't want to define it. If you want to trigger an alarm, okay. Okay, let's do that. Using cloud formation stopped. You can, okay, trigger based on CPU utilization exceeding, okay. I'll check it out. I'm gonna give it in our hands-on labs, but you can trigger an alarm using the CLI. Let me try and copy this. And try and make it a little bit better. So let's open our CLI and paste. Let's see what's gonna happen. I think I need to like change a lot of the details. In the terminal. Okay, so let me paste it. Oh, no. Okay. I need to fix it, so let me, can I like click here? I can't. So it needs a lot of fixing. This is apparently not gonna work because I don't have uh, the ID is wrong and everything is wrong. I need to fill these dates. Okay, so let's continue. We have alarms. We've talked about alarms. We have dashboard. So this is basically a dashboard. This is a dashboard, as you can see here, a graph. And you can put more than one graph on a dashboard and call it a dashboard. So this is a dashboard, okay? And let's go back down. Events. So I don't want to really talk about events, but this is crucial for automatic responses, and this is enables you to respond to your changes in your AWS environment in real time. I don't want to talk about it, but it's going to help you a lot using, let me cancel this. Okay. Events are going to help you a lot in managing anything that changes in your infrastructure. Okay. So use cases, why do we need AWS CloudWatch? Of course, we need it for operational monitoring. We need it to monitor the health, the performance of the resources. Of course, performance management, like basically it makes sense. So anything that has to do with scalability, with reliability, also with performance, operational performance and monitoring are going to be a use case. So you can see here also cost optimization, like the one I did using budget. Security and compliance, we talked about DDoS attacks and if the CPU utilization is over 75%. Yeah. Also automation. So when the CPU utilization is over 75%, we can say please auto scale and create 2 new instances of the same type. So this is automation. Benefits, of course, we have like comprehensive monitoring and observability. So you can keep an eye on everything you have, your infrastructure. بتقدر تخلي عينك في المحل وبتقدر تضلك تراقب الوضع من عندك. Proactive issue detection and resolution. So sometimes it can give you the ability to act based on certain on the things you put. So scalability and flexibility. So it gives you the ability to either scale or to scale your application or to like it can add or remove instances maybe based on the metrics. And cost management and optimization, of course, I showed you how. So we've also talked about automation, and it has security and compliance enhancements, customized dashboards and alert. You can customize your own, and it can improve application performance, of course. So we can set up a detailed and relevant alarms. Of course, the one we have added is just on one instance, and it's very basic. It's not very detailed, but we can do that. Implement log retention policies. So let's say if a log that has been like in 30 days, we can delete it or archive it because it's gonna help us with cost optimization. Use CloudWatch dashboard for centralized management. Of course, a dashboard contains one or more graphs. So you're gonna see your whole infrastructure. Dashboard, and even in Power BI, a dashboard contains one or more metric. It contains the relationship between entities. It contains a lot of things. But the thing we did in CloudWatch right now, it's gonna be like more than one and all in one place. This is called a dashboard. It contains more graphs. Leverage CloudWatch logs insight for advanced detailing. تقدر the logs you have gained, you can put it in Athena, you can put it in anything that has analytical advantages, and it can help you in a lot of things, maybe cost management, maybe performance optimization, and a lot of things. And we can optimize costs, as we said, like always, and use tags to organize and filter resources. Okay, so using tags actually are going to help us a lot because tags This actually came in the exam. So they're gonna ask you if you want something to help you and filtering based on as this says. So implement tagging for your AWS resource, and it's gonna optimize your monitoring. It's gonna optimize and make it easier to yourself. So I don't think I have any kind of tag in here. Instance state, no, not instance state. So instance settings. Here you can see all allow tags and manage tags. You can see here I don't have any tags. I only have the name. I can add as much as I want, as you can see here. So I can specify tags, maybe department, and I can say the department is in finance. So this instance is gonna be associated with the Department of Finance. So when I want to see the cost optimization of finance, all the instances under that tag, which is finance, is gonna show up. So this is also gonna help me in filtering and so I don't want to save. Yeah. Okay. So this is tags. So we finished our AWS CloudWatch session. Let's have a 5-minute break. And let me stop the recording. Stop recording.